tell me when you're ready.
Yeah. It's not a problem, mate. Got it right. Is this going on the YouTube channel? Or
Yes.
where? So make sure you tag us and I'll retweet it and whatever. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ro.
I've been tweeting you all night.
I haven't even looked at my Twitter. I haven't even looked at it. I've been on stage, so I'll have a look at it at some point. Thank you, brother. I will retweet. I've been following Radha Swami anyway. Sorry, Radha Swami. Different order. By now? What? Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sunny.
Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant there today.
It was. It's easy because I didn't have to do anything. I just asked a couple of questions and I sat back and Swamiji made it easy for me, sort of thing.
Fantastic. What was your highlight of what Swamiji said today, or something you're going to take away and remember?
See, it's funny because it's all about finding yourself and looking for that true within yourself, and to find someone who's already on that path and is a Swami and very much on that journey with a smile on his face and then sharing that journey. I think that's what I'm taking away from myself, that as and when I can move onto that journey at some point, there is hope for me.
Amazing. And obviously Sharan Project is very close to your heart.
The Sharan Project is very close to my heart. I mean, domestic violence and giving the voices a voice is in any part of the world, that, and as a human being, that you've got to treat everyone with respect. And there's some of these ladies who are put in a situation where they didn't ask for it and they don't want to be in it for whatever reason. They have the right to say no. And so I'm a big believer in human rights and having choices. And if the choice has been taken away from you for whatever reason that may be, I think that someone needs to step in and help that person. And some people aren't ready to be helped, bear in mind. So you might want to help someone. If they're not ready to be helped, you just got to be there when they are ready to fall so you can hold them. And that goes for children as well and everywhere.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
And you probably interviewed a lot of people.
I have indeed.
A lot of different people.
I have.
What was unique about interviewing Radhanath?
See, it's because I'm used to quick fire because we're on the radio, you have a certain amount of time and what have you. And so it's nice his pacing of answering the question. He's not rushing into an answer. He'll find the right words and he'll speak when he's ready to give the right answer instead of just, and I like that because it made it easier for me to get my next question ready, sort of thing. I don't have to just think of one after the other. So it's really nice.
And when he was speaking, I could see this real form of sincerity on your face.
Yeah, I'm a good actor. I'm just joking. I'm joking. No, obviously, because I've heard about Swamiji for a long time, and I am really someone who's a spiritual person rather than a religious person. So when someone's speaking like that, you have this aura, and you can't even now just think about it. It makes you smile, and you think about that feeling. And he talks about feeling quite a lot in this today. So feeling is quite an important part of what I believe. If I feel right, and that voice inside you when you know you shouldn't do something, when you're going to steal a chocolate or something and it feels wrong, that feeling, but you choose to listen to it or you're not. It's up to you at that point. But most people said, I know better, but I'll get away with it. And you feel good, but somewhere you're going to give back, man. So karma, I do believe in that.
Fantastic. And if there's any message you want everyone to take home tonight, anyone who's not going to have seen this or going to watch this video, or people who've been to it today, what would it be for you? What's the message you want people to take?
I think it's all, if you watch the whole video, I think the messages are there, and the key thing that I would say, if anyone could take anything away from it, is let's start treating each other with respect and stop labeling each other, right? And I think Swamiji said it, and Lady Levy said it as well, that we have to start looking at each other as human beings. And the redwood tree, I think, is a good analogy. We just join with each other with roots so we can hold each other up as a human race, let alone being human or Muslim or Hindu or Sikhs or whatever label you want to put on yourself, gay, lesbian or whatever. Let's just work together as human beings and just try to start looking after ourselves and the planet that we live on.
Fantastic. What I'm going to ask you to do is just introduce yourself so that we have that for the camera, so your name.
Wait, so my name is Sunny. I'm part of Sunny and Shay. So if you want to ever follow me on Twitter or Facebook, Instagram, just type in Sunny and Shay. You'll find us, and we're on BBC London and BBC WM, so you can find us on those platforms as well.
Fantastic. Any last messages?
No, that's it. Just hope you just treat each other with respect and love. That's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Sunny. Pleasure.
It's a pleasure of mine. All mine. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Actually, my friend was telling me about you recently, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. You ready?
I'm really nervous.
Just tell me what you did. What did you have for breakfast?
A bagel.
There you go. Nice. Bagel. What was in the bagel?
Just cream cheese.
Awesome. Love cream cheese. Lunch?
Huh?
Lunch? What did you have for lunch?
I don't even remember right now. I'm so panicked.
Just fine. No worries. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was really good. Really good event.
This is my first.
My first. We actually do the GGT Leadership Diversity Awards, and she was the winner there. And so
Yeah, really? Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Thanks
you
so
too.
much for doing this. I'm going to ask you a very, very quick question. What was your highlight for today?
Radhanath Swami was amazing, really spoke really well, connected really well with the audience, and his stories and the insights were really, really good. It really touched on an emotional level, so it was really interesting to listen to him speak.
And today was obviously your first time at Sharan's event.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the charity and all the work it's doing in your friend Sunny?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit more about that?
The charity is amazing. She's worked so hard to get where she has. And it's definitely something I want to help out with more. Really, really good event, and obviously it's working, so she's obviously doing something good.
I'm sure you've heard many speakers speak. What was unique about hearing Radhanath Swami? Obviously a very different speaker. You don't usually have in the UK. So.
He's not one of those speakers where he goes off his own personal what happens to him, but he's one that actually tells you stories about other people who have really gone through hardships in their life, and that really relates well, I think, with the audience. So that's what really touched me mostly about his speeches today.
Fantastic. Was there anything that he said that stood out to you, like a take-home message? If anyone's watching this video, is there a message that you think that,
I don't know.
Or any message that you have that you think someone who couldn't make the event would like to take away, or how you solve it?
Just to give to other people and be selfless in what you do, to really help others that really need the help.
Thank you so much. And just tell me your name and what you do.
My name's Shafali. I work in marketing and events at the Asian Media Marketing Group.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Brilliant.
How came to hear about the event?
About
the BBC based in a broadcast centre.
Oh, right, brilliant.
No, this is the first time we come to an event, but we had a seminar at Chambers at 5 St Andrews Hill, and Polly spoke about forced marriage, because this is what we're family lawyers. So we had 3 people there, and we had people from the Foreign Office, Force Family Unit there. And she asked us to come tonight, and that's how we came.
Wonderful.
As much as I can.
Brilliant. Come when you're ready. Yeah, fantastic. You start just by introducing yourself and what you do.
Yeah, well, my name's Roger. Talk to you, yeah. My name's Roger Birch, and I'm a barrister, and we're at 5 St Andrews Hill, and 3 of us have come tonight. We were originally saw Polly from the Sharan Project at our chambers, a seminar, and talking about forced marriage. And we thought that it would be a good idea to come here and support it.
Fantastic.
And that's why we're here. Yeah.
Brilliant to have you here. And obviously you heard Radhanath Swami speak today. What did you think of today's key speaker?
Well, I'm not that religious, but the comments he makes are quite fundamental. If people do unto others, then like to be done unto yourself, then that we all get on very well. But the problems with the world is very difficult. And I noticed one question that was asked about what can be done to assist females. Well, if we enforce the laws, then we'd be all right. There's so much law out there that's not being enforced. That comes to forced marriage, and especially female genital mutilation, which is one of my specialities. And it's interesting that in France there's been over 40 prosecutions, and we've had one failed one here. So our interest is in family law and those 2 areas, and that's why we've come here tonight. And it's been very good, actually.
And what's the key message you'd like everyone to take home from this evening? If someone's watching the video online, if someone didn't make it today, what kind of message do you think the event's really have?
Well, I think it's very inclusive. It's very friendly. People are welcomed here. It's not over-religious, which is a good thing. People can come with ease and listen. And I suppose a lot of people will get a lot of satisfaction actually listening to him, Swami. And that's really much as I can say about it. Is that all right?
That's fantastic. Okay. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Just introducing your name and what you do.
Okay, so my name's Kelly McKenzie, and I'm currently studying a PhD at the University of Southampton. So my undergraduate degree was concerned with domestic violence in the UK, and it was to do with something called the Clare's Law Scheme. So it was regarding women or men that have been through or potentially feel that they may be in a position of domestic violence. And contacting the police to see if they have offended previously and then being able to get out. So I was looking at that from like a feminist perspective. So then now that's translated into violence against women in conflict zones. So I'm looking at international law and transitional justice. And at the moment, I'm sort of looking at the experiences of women, how the law treats these women's experiences, whether it harms them, whether it does re-victimises them or not. So yeah, I'm looking into that. I'm looking into sort of stories and the way in which women express themselves. And yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. So yeah,
Really relevant.
Definitely.
And what was your highlight, or when you were hearing from Radhanath Swami, what were you taking away?
I just take his presence. He walks into the room and you're just almost starstruck. But I think learning to love your neighbour and realising that everyone is a human being, and I think people from all different backgrounds and cultures and religions are here. And I think myself, I come from an atheist background. I'm probably more on the agnostic side now, but I don't like to label myself. But I think just being able to look at another and see their human being and see their soul, rather than seeing this label, as he was saying, I think that is key, especially when there's so much hardship going on in the world and it's so easy to see the bad in people, but actually we need to see the good. Yeah.
So that's great. And obviously the Sharan Project is doing amazing work.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on what you've heard this evening about the project, about what's going on?
It's incredible. Polly is obviously such a humble woman. I only briefly got to speak to her, and you can see that straight away. So it's something that I hold very dear to my heart, and I think any work that recognises the issues that aren't necessarily spoken about, that should be spoken about by the government, policy makers and things like that. So obviously the work they're doing is fundamental, and I hope that something like this is giving them the support that they need. Yeah.
And you've probably heard lots of speakers speak. What was unique about Radhanath Swami?
I just think the analogies and the stories that he brings, especially, that's something where he can connect it back and he can make the smallest thing special and make you see the good in things, and just the tiniest thing, seeing that there is something good in that. So I think that is definitely something that he brings that other speakers might not bring.
Do you have any final messages?
Just thank you so much to the Sharan Project and everything that they're doing, Polly, and thank you for having me, really. So yeah, thank you.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I'm going to say bye to someone. Come when you're ready. We're going to start. No, you don't forget it and talk to me. Forget about the camera. Just tell me your name and what you do.
My name is Salva Roger, and I work for a large consultancy firm, and I help businesses to grow and expand.
Fantastic. And of course you're a volunteer at the Sharan
I am.
Project. Can you tell me what it feels like to be a volunteer of such a worthy cause?
Look, I mean, I like to volunteer wherever I can, but what attracted me to Sharan was the fact that I was watching television, and I watched a show called India's Daughter, and I watched it all the way through, absolutely stunned, being an Asian woman myself, understanding the culture, and knowing that there's a lot of this value and belief that goes on, until I actually saw it with my own two eyes, what happened to this particular girl, and the actual attitude towards her was enough for me to just turn on the computer and look at projects and see where I can offer help and support.
Amazing. And tonight you've been here, I understand you came slightly later, but from what you did hear of the keynote speaker today, Radhanath Swami, what were your thoughts?
Do you know, it was pragmatic, it was practical, it was common sense. The teachings it's awareness, bringing us back to actually baseline. It's saying this is what reality is, and let's be in tune with reality and create awareness, because we just get so busy in life that we forget the purpose of life. And that was a fundamental message this evening.
I'm sure you've heard many speakers. What was unique about the way he spoke, or the way the message came?
He was very humble. There was nothing around who he is as a person in terms of, I'm here as the special keynote speaker. He was here to share and to be part of everything and everyone, and to really reaffirm that he believes that what we're doing is important. And that was really nice to hear.
And for those who are watching this at home who haven't seen the video, or weren't here today, or couldn't be here, what kind of message would you want them to take home from the event so that they can actually get connected and start helping?
Do you know, in life we're very ignorant to what's not in front of us. And there is a lot of unfortunate situations, where females are going through horrific times. And the important message here is to open your eyes, look at what's happening in the real world. Not saying that you have to change your life, but if you can support, not to give up your life in whatever way it is. Anything, any moment in your life that you can give to support, be it donations, be it your time, offering a venue, anything is helpful to a charity such as Sharan.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Any last messages?
Just thank you very much for being here this evening. We've had a wonderful event and everyone has been very supportive of Sharan. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
That's brilliant. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
I think it was great. Everything went very well and very inspirational.
Brilliant. That's what we need to hear. Ready? Fantastic. If you just start by introducing yourself, just tell me your name and what you do. Don't worry about this. Just talk.
Okay, I'm Pamela and I'm a social media manager at the Sharan Project. And yeah, very happy to be here tonight.
Brilliant. And tell us a bit about what you thought of the speaker today, Radhanath Swami.
It was really inspirational and I have to say I almost cried. So yeah, very inspirational. And the questions were really, really interesting as well, because sometimes I notice that sometimes when the Q&A is not so good, but this time really good.
Amazing. And you've obviously had loads of speakers before. What was unique about Radhanath Swami? What was different?
I think the element of spirituality that he brings to, and this idea that compassion and forgiveness. We always talk about how bad these people are because they abuse women, but introduce this element that forgiving is actually good for the person who is being abused as well. I think that's what makes him. It's different from the others. Yeah.
Fantastic. And tell us a bit more about your thoughts about the Sharan Project and how today was for the Sharan Project.
Yeah, it's very important because this is the annual, obviously the annual fundraising for us. So it was the event of the year, and it's been good. It's really, it's been everything great.
Thank you so much. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I hope I did.
I'm meeting my most.
Sorry.
No, it's good. Just ignore the camera. We already know.
Okay, cool.
Could you just start by introducing yourself, tell me your name and what you do?
Absolutely. So I help run the Sharan Project. My name's Brittany, and thank you so much to everyone who came to the event today. It means a lot for those women sitting at home or those family members which know of someone subjected to domestic violence within domestic spaces. So thank you.
Fantastic. And Brittany, tell me, obviously you're involved in the Sharan Project, you're leading it, you're running it. What did it feel like to have Holiness Radhanath Swami speak?
It felt beyond words because someone to describe love and compassion in such a way to help others in a very unique way, to go to the soul of a person rather than the external. It was unique because every woman has a soul which speaks to itself with integrity to say, I can get myself out of a violent situation. And he really hit that comment through his ideas of love and compassion. Yeah.
And tell me more about, obviously you're so closely related to the Sharan Project. What key messages do you want to share? People who are watching at home or watching the video or watching the grant, what key messages do you want to share?
In every difficult situation, there is a way out. In every person, there is a voice stating to them whether something is wrong or right. Everyone has a boundary as to the morality they live. And if anyone needs support in a domestic situation where they are subjected to violence, please feel free to contact the Sharan Project because we help people live very well, independent and free from violent lives as well. So, yeah.
What was your highlight for what Radhanath Swami said? What's going to stick with you and you're going to quote to everyone? And what was the message that he said?
He was just absolutely amazing. Like one story, the key message he projected today was the story of Sindhutai, a woman who was teared to pieces by her own husband and was shunned by her community, who managed to give love and compassion to others and managed to give people a voice to say, hey, I see you, I hear you, and you deserve to have freedom from brutality. You deserve to have a loving life. So I love that message from him as well. So thank you. I would say that thank you very much to Radhanath Swami for being such an awesome, awesome spirit, and his team as well. And we look forward to, the Sharan Project look forward to preaching the voice of love and compassion in future events as well, and amongst our clients as well. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Not all of you guys. Yeah.
Okay. So I hold these?
No?
Okay.
No.
Right. Okay, cool.
Tell me ready? Sorry, we just start by introducing yourself, your name and what you do.
Sure. My name is Sourav Dutt. I'm an author and writer, and I've written a book about domestic violence, which ties in perfectly with the event here at the Sharan Project.
So was this your first Sharan Project event? And if so, tell me what it was like for you.
It is. It's a fantastic celebration of the work Hare has been doing. It's a relatively young organisation. I've learnt about it within the last year, and I want to get my all weight behind supporting this organisation. Fantastic event tonight, great turnout, loads of varied opinions, and of course a fantastic guest speaker as well. Everyone got to ask great questions, and it's an excellent atmosphere here, celebrating and united for a great cause.
Fantastic. And you mentioned the guest speaker.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about what it was to have Radhanath Swami as the keynote speaker, what you heard from him, his highlights, what he said, what
Sure.
resonated with you.
Well, this was my first sort of meeting, and hearing him speak in any capacity whatsoever, and I was extremely impressed. I'm a person who has very strong spiritual beliefs myself, and a lot of what he said resonated with me. The most impressive parts of what he was speaking about was speaking about the conflicts that one has on a spiritual basis every day, given all the traps and materialism of the modern world. And I was really impressed by the way he spoke so eloquently and so directly, answering questions which often weren't easy, but he approached them just like duck to water, and he answered them in a compelling fashion.
Fantastic. And of course, what message would you want someone to take away? People who aren't here today, people who couldn't be here, people who are watching this video, what message would you want them to take away from today's event?
From today's event, that it's an ongoing struggle to raise awareness about domestic violence and abuse. It's ongoing. We can't just wait for interviews, for PR stunts, or days to celebrate. It's an ongoing daily battle to increase awareness, and that's vital. Events like this capture the mood of what people are thinking and really bring it together home, that charities like this work and do so much great work, but they work through the generosity of the patrons and the public who help. What I've taken away from today is that even though it's a young organisation, it's achieved so much in a very relatively small amount of time. Anybody can start such an initiative and accomplish so much in a short space of time. That's very inspiring. And if anybody has an inclination to do something, they shouldn't hesitate. Just look at the work we've seen here today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
That's okay. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Ah, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was for today.
You heard the class?
Yes, it was amazing. Yeah,
I'm going to ask you about that. Brilliant. Yeah. Tell me, ready?
It's not too long, is it?
No.
Because I have to.
Just talk to me.
Yeah.
And it'll be very good. Yeah? Ready?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
You just start off by telling me your name and what you do.
Okay, my name is Cosima. I'm a musician. Yeah.
Fantastic. And thank you for being here today.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you a few questions about Radhanath Swami, the keynote speaker. What were your thoughts on hearing him speak today?
I think it was wonderful. Yes, I think it made a lot of sense. I'm practicing Buddhism for a long time, and there is lots of principles that are very in common with what I do. So it's a wonderful man, I think. Yes.
And some of the messages that you heard, what were you taking away? And some of the messages that you heard, what were the key messages that you took away?
Be kind to other people. Be aware of other people. Think then what you do has relevance. I would say, yeah.
What did Radhanath Swami say that's going to stick with you, or you're going to remember, or you're going to make a song out of as a musician? What was it that he said that's going to stick with you?
He said a lot of things. I really like the part about how you call it, like in English. Oops, I'm not English. All things that we do for a long time, then sometimes they get changed and corrupt. Traditions, yeah. We assume that traditions are always correct, but traditions are man-made. Men change, and sometimes they change for the worst. So I think it's good to be aware of it and not thinking in tradition are always good just because they are tradition.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Oh, I'll leave that down.
Just forget about camera.
Okay.
yourself. Everyone loves you. Like, from what I understand.
That was a little bit embarrassing. I was not expecting that at all, but it was very kind.
So I'm going to start off just by saying, Polly, if you introduce yourself by telling me your name and what you do.
Okay, my name is Polly Hare, and I'm the founder of the Sharan Project.
And I want you to tell me, of course, as the founder of the Sharan Project, you spoke a little bit about what drove you. Tell me about what is the heart of the Sharan Project.
Well, the essence of the Sharan Project is to recognise that when somebody has been disowned by their families and communities, the very people who were put on this earth to protect and love them unconditionally, it's a very difficult transition, a very difficult journey when you suddenly find yourself on your own. A lot of organisations and generally in society, we look at issues, the issue of domestic violence, the issue of forced marriage. What we do is we look at the issue of disownment, which is a sense of being rather than an issue itself. It's a result of something. And if we don't focus on that long-term support provision, then all the interventions that people go through to get themselves safe or to change their lives is meaningless without that support to keep that going.
Definitely. And obviously you asked His Holiness Radhanath Swami to be your keynote speaker today.
Absolutely.
What were your thoughts on what he said? What were the highlights? What are you taking away?
Firstly, we're absolutely beyond delighted that Radhanath Swami had agreed to speak for the first charity in the UK to talk about the issues of love and compassion. What I took away from today was just how much everyone seems to have enjoyed the talk. People in this room came from all different walks of life, from different sectors and backgrounds, and yet they were all able to take something themselves away, which was different to each other person. Everyone I've spoken to has just said it was an incredibly wonderful evening. So for me, I'm incredibly honoured that Radhanath Swami had agreed to do this talk, but equally that we can now share that message of love and compassion, particularly for those who've been disowned.
And what were the key messages or key things that you said, statements that you were thinking of when you were speaking to people when you were actually working on these projects?
Yeah. I think one thing that stood out for me from what was said was very much about feeling and doing the right thing because you feel that it's the right thing to do rather than just doing it. And I think, the essence of the work that we do and being a volunteer-led charity is we genuinely care for every single person. It's not a case, it's a client, it's a human that we work with. And every single human that we work with deserves our care. And we have to believe in that person in order to do that. I've seen all too often people go through support services where they feel like they're going through a chain, next, to get a ticket next, and they don't feel like they've been really listened to or really felt how they feel. So I think that was one of the key messages that Radhanath Swami came across tonight that really resonated with me.
I love what you just said. It's not a case, it's a person, it's a human being. And the thing I'm going to ask you is, if someone's watching this after the event, you're trying to get the word out, you're going to raise awareness, and they couldn't come today, what kind of message do you want them to take away from the event? What is that one thing you want people to go away with?
Well, the topic for tonight was love and compassion, and one of the questions that encapsulated tonight was, well, where's the love and compassion in when you cause somebody harm, whether it's through disownment or abuse or rejection? Is love and compassion really unconditional? And if it is, fantastic, but if it's not and it's harmful, then that's not love and compassion. So if anyone's listening and watching this now, I would say if you've been affected by any issue that you felt that love and compassion hasn't been unconditionally given to you, speak to someone, reach out, contact someone, speak to a friend or a family member, anybody, or a service or a support service, just because you're probably not the only one. And by speaking, you're letting that go, and then you can heal. Yeah, thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you. Sorry, that was just completely...
That's perfect.